Hey everybody, welcome back to 14 Rings and NFC East Podcast. We are recording after all of our teams have been kicked out of the playoffs or never even made it. That's okay though. We got off-season content. I know JT's dying, but that's okay though. That's okay. I wanted to see if I could get him to crack. I got him. That's good. But it's okay though. We're actually going to start off with some good off-season content now before we get into all the draft stuff, because trust me, we're going to have plenty of draft content headed by JT and Maurice this offseason. They're going to be doing solo draft profiles. They're starting out with, just the champion quarterback of the college football. So we'll have that coming out soon. Mm-hmm. And that will just Heisman Trophy, 1 or 2. Yeah. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. We're going to have exclusive draft content for you guys this year. And on top of that, just, strengths, weaknesses of these players, and do they fit in the NFC East? And if so, where so? If not, where do they go? We don't know. We'll find out. Our next episode of 14 Rings and NFC East Draft Profiles. Not Dragon Ball Z, guys. So, that being said, I'm going to give the mic over to JT. We are doing our top 10 free agents that the Dallas Cowboys should sign. And then we're actually... Should we do that first, or should we get to the breaking news? I feel like we should go to the breaking news first, not to steal your thunder, JT. But I feel like
go ahead.
I think we should go to Mal on the breaking news first. Mal, do you feel vindicated that you have a qualified head coach now?
Vindicated, yes, I feel vindicated. It honestly kind of looks surreal, and especially you guys know, like supporting the Ravens all these years, I've seen Harbaugh, at his best and at his worst, and supported him there too. So seeing the pictures of him holding the blue helmet is kind of weird. But yeah, so breaking news, guys, as much as everyone has already heard, John Harbaugh is the new head coach of the New York Football Giants. We will be bringing that back as per the head coach.
Nice. I like the football part of it. Yes.
Yeah. Really, really good stuff here, guys. We had the introductory presser this afternoon at 12. John seems excited to get to work. He met a bunch of the players, a bunch of the executives. Chris Mara was really the one who kind of stepped in and got this deal done, with John being sick and wishing him well. He doesn't look too good, so hopefully he's getting those treatments done and doing what he's supposed to, because he's going through a lot. So it was big of him to, reschedule his treatments to kind of get this done, because he wants to win as much as we all do. I think they're kind of getting tired of it. So this was a big effort by everyone. Joe Shane too was involved. I mean, him and Harbaugh seem to have a good relationship. We'll see how that, transpires. But Harbaugh wanted to change the organizational structure, and that's kind of what held up the deal for quite some time, which, hey, listen, I'm glad he's doing that. We clearly needed a change. So I'm really interested to see here what direction this team goes in with such an accomplished coach like Harbaugh. I think it's something that we definitely needed. He was my top choice, and it was a little agonizing for a few days because everyone was all like, why is it being hung up on the contract and blah, 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 blah. Listen, those big contracts, they take a lot of time, especially with what John wanted to do in terms of reporting directly to John Mara. That's not something we've had in this organization for a very long time. Usually there is a clear hierarchy of coach to GM to owner. Now John will go directly to other John. So that's much different from what the Giants are used to. I think that it's a good choice because someone like John Harbaugh knows what he's doing. He clearly knows how to run a winning organization. And we are not that as of right now. So hopefully he can right the ship. I think that a lot of good things come with this because John is a name that a lot of guys want to coach for, a lot of guys want to play for. So hopefully this is the turning point of a new era in New York football. Thoughts, anybody? I would like to open up the floor.
I don't like how some of your fans say that Joe Shane looks like he was like having an anxiety attack in the middle of the presser. I don't think that was the case, but or maybe he was. I don't know. Your thoughts on that?
I mean, he was drinking water like there was no tomorrow. Like, dude, you okay?
Maybe he's on thin ice. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. When there's already reports that your new head coach is going to be communicating over your head, then I'll be a little nervous too.
That's fair.
I'll be a little nervous too.
Yeah, I think they have to, and like I said, it seems like they have a good relationship so far. John had a lot of good things to say about him, his love for football. That's important because John's a whole old school I love football guy. Mm-hmm. And one statement that John made today in his presser was that we're going to have guys in here that love football. So some of those players, cough, cough, Evan Neal, Deontay Banks, Jalen Hyatt, you might want to start looking for another job. Just going to throw that out there. All tea, all shade. You haven't proved anything to me. So, but I think that's important that, we have a head coach who's going to come in here, have some accountability, because under Dable, we clearly didn't have any, and even the players had come out and said that there was no accountability from the coaches. They were kind of just doing whatever the heck they wanted. That's going to change. And we're actually going to figure out who wants to be here, who wants to win, and it all starts with, and I've talked to you guys about this for the whole entire, maybe past 2 seasons at this point. Losing culture is a thing. These guys are used to being big losers. Can't have that anymore. So I think this is a right direction, great hire. I'm very interested to see who our offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator are going to be. I think that if Monken doesn't get that head coach job in Cleveland, he's coming to New York. Yeah. John already is starting to bring over some of his staff from Baltimore, very small pieces, like his assistant head coach, his assistant, not his assistant head coach, but his assistant. And I think that, Anthony Weaver will get a big look from Miami. I think Zach Orr will definitely get a look. I don't think we'll ultimately end up with him, though. I think that we're going to see a big shift in things. From what it looks like, Carmen Brasillo, the offensive line coach, might be the only one who's safe, but all of that work's going to start to get done tomorrow and Friday, and then interviews are going to start tomorrow as per Harbaugh. So we should get the staff all sorted out here.
Yeah, that's fair. I do want to ask one question though. Now with Harbaugh, and we all know that you guys had a better roster than your record indicated last year. I would assume most of those guys coming back, or at least the important pieces coming back. What are the expectations record-wise for you? Like early prediction, you don't have to put a stamp on it, but just what are you hoping for in year 1 of John Harbaugh?
Year 1 of John Harbaugh has to be a winning record or close.
So around 500.
I will not accept, another season like this one.
7 wins.
Yeah, it has to be a higher standard. With Harbaugh, if you cannot get these guys to turn it around, then maybe you need to start looking into a roster issue, which, there are roster issues. I still think that there's a lot of holes that need to be filled. However, coaching is a big part of why the Giants lost games last year. And then the trickle effect at the end of the season of just whatever, we suck anyway, is what it is. It's a mentality thing. If John can flip the mentality and get the most out of one, Dart is the most important. Dart, he's always going to try hard. He's always going to play hard. That's just his mentality, and that's what I love about him. But guys like Dexter Lawrence, he was a little sus this previous season. Need to see more out of him. Need to see him be more of a leader.
Well, I think John Harbaugh is the perfect type of guy to get the best out of Sexy Dexy.
Yeah, and we know what he can do. He's proven himself, but we need to get him back into that leadership mentality. Abdul Carter needs to step up. I think that John will definitely humor a trade for Kayvon Thibodeau potentially. Keep an eye on that.
Hang on, pause for a second there, because I went to a podcast convention last weekend, guys. Not to bear your lead. I talked to a Giants content creator, and he actually offered. He was just like, would you take a trade for Kayvon? And I said, we don't have enough draft capital to take a trade for Kayvon. What would that look like to you, Mal, if the Commanders called for Kayvon?
Well, I don't think we're going to trade within the division, no offense.
Probably not, but just humor me for a second.
I don't know. I mean, what sucks is he's a high first. No, I don't. He's a high first round pick. It would have to be minimum a second.
We don't have a second this year, so it's not happening.
I don't think it was going to happen anyway.
Well, I mean, it probably wasn't going to happen, but if that's the acting price, I mean, look.
Yeah.
It is what
I mean,
it
like I
is.
said, that's up to, Joe and John, but I could definitely see them humoring that this year to kind of recover some assets that we really need. Whereas, would I like to keep Kayvon? Do I think that he could be, unlock his full potential? Absolutely. But I mean, we also got Abdul Carter that we got to unlock too.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
and there's other positions of need. So we got to start expending those other assets there. But Maurice, Earl, you guys have any thoughts on anything?
I just like how from the clips I've seen, he was very. I like how you tweeted he has zero aura walking into the building.
He did. He looks like he is a dad, but he looks
He-
like a dad with those sneakers and the
He
tucked in
looks like
shirt.
a
I was like,
dad
dog.
that was visiting his kid at college.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, he
he
did.
was like a dad taking his kids to a water park or something.
Yep.
Oh
That's what it
yeah,
seemed
oh
like.
yeah.
But I do like the fact that some of the players hung around, wanted to greet him before he did a press
Yeah.
conference. I
Mhm.
do like that.
Got
Listen,
a lot of respect. That's for sure.
yeah, he's going to come in day one and have a lot of respect, and this is the culture change you've been waiting for, Mal. So I just want
Guys,
to say good luck.
you've been around for the ride. Let's hope it works out for the best,
Yeah,
but
good
we'll
luck.
see.
We I don't think we can go another season with Mal being depressed on here.
Yeah, we really
I need a
can't.
win. I
Yeah,
need a
You're
winning
gonna get
season.
yourself a win.
yeah,
You're gonna get yourself a win somehow.
yeah.
All these years of pain and suffering will someday pay off.
Someday, somehow.
Bring me back to 2007, honestly.
Oof.
Oh, and shout out Tom Coughlin. He's the one who set up the meetings between Chris Mara and John and really kind of, gave him the push to come here. So shout out Tom Coughlin. You're always a legend. Once a giant, always a giant. Love you, man.
Yes.
Yes.
But if
That's
anyone else
crazy.
doesn't have anything, we
yeah,
can.
sorry, JT. Usually this was supposed to be all your episode, but John Harbaugh signed with the Giants. We got to do that first. But the floor is yours, sir.
All right, let's get started with this offseason moves for the Dallas Cowboys. I got a chance to take a look at some of free agency and some of the upcoming moves. I'm looking towards defense. I'm looking to see if I can revamp this defense to the best of its ability leading into the draft. I feel that if you take care of what you need to in free agency, draft is going to be a cakewalk. We got 2 first-round draft picks. We got to make those count. I'm going to start off with the first free agent. It's technically not a free agent, but it's a trade.
Oh, okay.
I can
Throwing
see
a wrench
Dallas
into it.
going
Okay.
and trading for Minkah Fitzpatrick. I know they were trying to make a move for him during the trade deadline this past season, but it fell short of the deadline. Where I do know for a fact when they try to go for a player in the trade deadline and don't get him, in the offseason, they get him. So I'm looking for them to do an upgrade in their safety department. It's due. It's long overdue. I'm ready to let Donovan Wilson walk as well as Malik Hooker walk. Upgrade your secondary. You got to build it. You got to revamp it. You got to build it. So Minkah Fitzpatrick, he's going to be the first one on my list to come in as a trade, as well as just kind of helping the secondary with mentorship. He's played the position for a little bit. He's only 29 years old, going on 30. His base salary is going to be around $15.6 million. So it just depends on what Dallas decides to do with it and kind of play it off. If anything, they can sign him to a 2-year deal. That'd be good. You'll have somebody on the back end being an upgrade. My next free agent, I'm also looking in the safety department for a free safety or maybe even a strong safety. I'm looking at Jabril Peppers.
Okay.
He recently played at Pittsburgh, where he's around age 30. He's making a little under 1.5 mil. I think you can get him on a cheaper deal where you bring him in for a year or two and have him pair with Minkah Fitzpatrick. That would be 2 upgrades for you in the safety department, as well as just seeing if they would go into the draft and draft a safety. Hinting at Caleb Downs if he falls. The next free agent that I have, I'm looking at an RB1 duo. And I actually have I have 3 different running backs up here. The first one, Rico Dowdle. Bring him back home. He's going to cost you about maybe $3.5 million, age 27. He was durable this year with the Carolina Panthers, had a really good season. He ran all over us. He's told us to buckle up. We didn't buckle up. Rico, he'd go pair him with Javonte Williams if they re-sign Javonte. I do know that Javonte Williams is looking for a contract. He's pretty much played in his best season so far in his career. So if you decide to bring Javonte back, pair him with Rico, and then you have your RB1 duo.
Mm-hmm.
The next player on my free agent list I have is a linebacker. I'm looking at Devin Bush. He's age 27. He's making around $3.2 million. You sign him to a deal. You need to upgrade your linebacker. I think from just having Jack Sanborn there, as well as just not seeing what you have in Kenneth Murray, there's a lot of backlash dealing with just the linebackers as a whole. They were talking about that in the noise for so much, but failed to realize that the secondary was the problem and applying pressure on the front four. But I like Devin Bush. He's one guy. He's like a journeyman. He's been bouncing from team to team. I think adding him there, he still has some versatility there, as well as just being able to have that veteran presence. I think that'll help out the linebacker room. I do know Demo is coming off injury. Just got to see how he plays. Marius, he's going into year 3. Got to see how he steps up. And that just adds to the linebacker room. I think that's really needed because that's that you can be the quarterback of the defense in the linebacker position. And you also have Shamar Jaynes coming into his second year. So Devin Bush will be that guy that can mentor while still being able to play. The next free agent I have is one of the 3 running backs I have. I have Breece Hall. He's 24. He's making around 10, maybe 12 million.
Love that.
Right now. And basically one guy that I can see that if you want to change the pace back, Breece Hall is that guy. I believe he played at North Carolina as well, same as Javonte Williams. So they'll have that familiarity of just playing together. And lightning and thunder. I do know Jadon Blue, they're going to be looking to push him and just trying to make this narrative that, yeah, he's the home run hitter. Yeah, he is. But if is he able to do pass blocking? Is he able to do more of the little things to execute the big thing? But right now, that's remained to be seen. So if you bring Breece Hall in, he can be that guy that can pretty much do what Jadon Blue can do, but maybe have better pass blocking as well as doing the little things.
So hang on. Yeah, sorry. Finish and then I have my question.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, so Breece Hall, do you honestly don't think the Jets are going to try to give him back, or I know that he requested a trade, but they could franchise tag him. Do you not see that happening?
They could franchise tag him, but at the same time, they have Braylon Allen coming off injury, and he was kind of that big promising back that showed like high promise before he got hurt. So it just depends. I think Breece Hall needs a change of scenery, and I think if you compare him in Dallas with another running back that won't feel like he has that main running back role, I think that will be somebody that's key. The only thing is the money. Now, I don't know how cheap they would go in free agency, and 10 to 12 million, that's kind of more of a higher input for how the Joneses like to move their money. Right now, I think they're around maybe 3rd or 4th with the highest cap space that they could make a move like this. And it all depends if they sign Pickens and how much money he would get, and then also the money that will go into Javonte Williams. So out of the 3 backs, he's 2 for me that if we can't get Rico, Breece Hall will be that next guy. He's also younger. He's 24, and I feel like he has a lot more left in the tank that I feel like the Jets was unable to use with him.
Yeah, I guess my only concern is ever since Ezekiel Elliott, I don't think you guys have splurged big on running backs. And that's
the situation with Ezekiel Elliott when they decided to do more of a pass game.
Yeah.
That kind of took away what Zeke could do.
Yeah.
Because he still was durable. He still achieved 1,000 yards even though they didn't utilize him correctly. So it would just be a split role where it's not like a main full-time role. I don't think God is looking towards doing that.
Yeah, like I said, I just don't know if they would be willing to pay that much for a guy. I don't know. We'll see. Continue on your list, though.
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
Next guy, let's see here. Here we go. Upgrade in the secondary. I have Greg Newsome.
He's on my list, too.
Sorry, buddy. Greg Newsome, he's basically 25. He's averaging around 13.3 mil, where my secondary this past season, it was atrocious. Like, you didn't trust Diggs with the training because you failed him in the training. And then Deron Bland couldn't stay healthy. Now he's on surgery. So now we're dealing with these names again. Trequezie Bridges. What? And then Reddy Stewart. Insane. And just Kalen Carson, who nicknamed the seatbelt, it's pretty much baby car seat right now. He hasn't shown promise in what he could do in the cornerback room. So, yeah, it's just a complete overhaul. Greg Newsome, I think he'll be a nice addition to the secondary where you see that new revamp of the secondary. So, from what I've done so far, I've accumulated Greg Newsome in the cornerback spot. Then I have Jabril Peppers as well as Minkah Fitzpatrick on the back end. All right, we're going to shift to the third running back on the list, Tyler Algier from Atlanta. He split time with Bijan Robinson, and I do know he definitely wants a change of scenery where he can get more time to play. I like the tandem with him or Javonte. I'm kind of basing this off of, like, I do know they want to retain Javonte, but we need somebody to pair with him because I do not want to run Javonte into the ground where pretty much this past season they ran him into the ground because they didn't trust any other running back. So Algier will be that guy. He's 25. He'll be making around $4 million. That's pretty cheap. You can sign him to a little mini deal, same when you do with Javonte. Then you can create your RB1 duo while having Jadon Blue and Phil Maffa learning from there.
I do want to say Algier's more of a power back.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
that's your thunder and lightning that you're trying to look for.
Yeah.
True. And Javonte, he has that little lightning to him, but it's more of a thunder approach. But if you can have someone that can do the thunder ability more, it takes an ease off the guy who has thunder with a little bit of light.
Yeah.
The next 3 out of the 4 will be secondary base. First one, Tariq Woolen. He's playing right now in Seattle, and it looks like they may or may not sign him to a contract where this guy, he's still young. He's around 26. He makes around $4 million. I think having a nice tandem with him and Greg Newsome in the secondary, I think that's nice. You got range, you have speed, and you can line up, play man-to-man. Depending on who the defensive coordinator will be, I'll get that to a later time. But basically what I've seen from Tyreek, he's basically was benched, and then he had to earn his way back on the field with Seattle because Seattle was so heavy with the depth in the secondary position. And I think for him coming in, he's doing a good job just filling in and just taking his reps seriously. So I'm going to see more of him in the championship game when they go up against the Rams. So if that's a guy that I could see that could play, represent the star, he's one of those guys. The next guy I have, I'm going to the linebacker position. I'm looking at Quay Walker. I know that he may have a year left on his deal. He might be a free agent. I think he's a free agent.
He's on my list. He's linebacker, right?
Yes, sir.
He's on my list, too.
Sorry.
See, stealing my thunder here, man.
Nah, I'm doing the research. Honestly.
No, you're good. You're good. Great minds think alike.
Yeah. Hey, we brothers. So, yeah, Quay Walker, linebacker. I really like them coming out of college, and I think he has the potential to play the middle very well. You can move him around. I just need to see what my linebacker room truly can be. And if you can get guys in here that can do that, that would be amazing. Because Shamar James, he's learning, going in his second year. Maris, I don't know why they didn't trust Maris, because he was pretty much a green dot guy in his first year when Overshown went down. So hopefully I can see an improvement in my linebacker room, and adding Quay Walker to that, I think that would like really tip the scale on what this linebacker room truly can be, because I feel like my linebackers can run, and I think they need to do that by running sideline to sideline, but also being able to hit the A and B gaps when needed to. So Quay Walker, he's a guy from there. I think it'll, like I said, it'll be like a $9.3 million cap hit, depending if you re-sign him to a deal or not, but it'd be a nice addition. And I'm also on this free agent list, I'm looking for guys who can be dogs. I'm not looking at these guys that can just put on the uniform and go out there and be like, go out there, have fun. I want guys that have that mean mentality that can go out there and let them know that you're here. Create a presence. I'm just looking for dogs, and this team needs dogs. The next two are corners. I'm going to do them together. I have Jeff Okudah and Eric Stokes. Both of them in total average around $7 million in total. They're both 26 years old. I think Okudah's about to be 27. Rangy guys. Play man-to-man. Some of them can play zone, but I think their bread and butter is just playing man-to-man. And I think if you really want to revamp this secondary, you can do that. Then you also have Shavon Ravel coming off injury as well. You don't have to force him out there as well. We let Revel and Bland heal up, and found out that the Packers released Trayvon Diggs. And I'm just throwing that out there. Maybe you could do a reunion, Dallas, where you can rewrite the wrong that you initiated. So that's nor here or there. But Okudah and Stokes, those will finish out my free agent board, where I think if they really go off of this list and get the key guys there, especially to help the defense, I think that's going to be really key, because you don't have to go into the draft pressing for a corner. You'll have corners there, guys with the experience. And then if you wanted to plug one in later, you could definitely do that as well, because day 2 and 3, Dallas won't have any picks. So they're banking on their first round draft, both their first round
wait
draft.
Wait a second, you don't have any day 2 picks?
Nah, we traded it to get Quinnen.
Oh, so you don't have a
and then
second
we traded
or
a third for Pickens.
Oh, yeah, no, okay, got you.
Yeah, so the next time we pick is in round 4. So I
Mm.
really want Dallas to focus on these 2 first-round picks, make them count as if it's a first and a second and a third. But I want them to get 2 guys in the top 20 instead of guys that's in the top 100. So they have an opportunity to do that, and just shoring up free agency will make things so much easier for them going forward into the draft. What do y'all think?
I don't think it's a bad list. You know, like I said, we have some
Not at all.
some common names there. I will say I do not see a reunion with Diggs on the horizon with the current coaching staff. That's probably not good. Probably not good. I mean,
Yeah,
look, he's on my long list of free agents. He did not make the top 10, but he's on my long list. So I get it. I get it.
I do find it
I
interesting
think he
that
just
they
needs a good offseason just to kind of get his legs back. I think them forcing him out there too many times really just interfered with his healing process. I just think if he has a good offseason, I think he'll be fine. But I can see him doing a reunion with Chicago with Al Harris. So
Not impossible.
It'll work. I do find it interesting that you went younger with your free agency.
Yeah.
I did too. I did too.
Yeah,
It's also crazy because, like, I think, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Maurice. I think to go off of your point with the younger, I've always, at least for the past few seasons, Jerry has not been a big spender in free agency. So I'm interested to see what will actually happen during this free agency period for you guys.
I can foresee him making a big trade.
Yeah, I'm not that nice with Jerry right now, but in order to make things right, you owe me a pass rusher. You owe me a revamp in the secondary. You owe me the right defensive coordinator because Shotty's trying to bring a positive vision to this. You're not respecting it. And then when you decide to bring in Jonathan Gannon
for a second interview,
is Eberflus disciple.
Yeah.
It's like you're a disciple.
Yeah.
You're interjecting with what Shotty's trying to do. And you know the crazy thing is it's a low-key civil war going on with Shotty against the Joneses. I've seen it before because it happened during the draft. Because they were trying to get Matthew Golden, but Shotty was pushing for Booker.
That's surprising because usually it's the other way around. Usually the Jones won at all.
Right.
Yeah.
The more and more that I'm looking at it, I'm leaning towards Shotty with Booker because he's trying to create a physical presence, which Dallas was lacking.
Yeah.
And the thing is, here with this free agency, I'm listening to my coach and what the fans should be listening to. Because if you look at the turnover ratio, Dallas was at a -9 on the turnover ratio department, that the lack of turnovers. So I'm looking at guys who can get the ball. And that's what kind of leaned towards my free agency, where these guys can go get the ball. And if you get a guy in here as a coordinator that can do that, so be it. I digress.
I do want to note that Gannon went in for his second interview.
Yeah. Don't mean they should hire him.
Gannon.
It doesn't, but I don't know who else they brought in for a second interview so far. So.
Oh, I can go over the news.
Sure. Yeah. Go.
Cool. All right. So we had second interviews. First one was Durante Jones. He's my number 1 pick. If you get a chance, look at his interview.
Mm-hmm.
It's one that I literally teared up listening to it because this guy loves football to the core. He loves football. I'm getting teared up now. Basically, this dude did so much to get to where he is now that it was point in times he had to sell his things to be homeless for opportunities to coach. He was trying to get himself into coaching, and the more and more I'm looking at what he's done, it shows that he's a teacher. He adapts. That's what Shotty's looking for. So I don't understand why you're playing with that, where if you bring a guy in here who is a teacher and can adapt, there's almost like a split image between him and Shotty. There's this thing where it's like Durante Jones is the black Shotty. It's crazy that seeing what Shotty does is almost identical to what Durante Jones does.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really hoping that he's the pick. But if I had to choose a second one, I will go for Christian Parker, who has an interview with Dallas tomorrow. And I do know that they had a second interview with Jonathan Gannon today. I don't know how that went. I could care less. He's the least on my list.
Yes.
And it's just, I just want everything extracted from Eberflus.
Yeah.
I understand Eberflus may be a good dude, but his football lacking heavily.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, that's all the news I have right now. I do know that Shotty's been keeping tabs on Zach Orr. So that's maybe a last-second decision with Orr. And I'll probably bump up this news later. No, we'll get to that later. But yeah, that's all I have for the news. I know they're looking for the defensive coordinator. Want them to make the right decision, take their time with it. I do know that they may try to interview Jim Leonard, and that'll probably be after the championship game for them, but we'll see. I digress.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's get into the Commanders news now. First off, it kind of feels almost like we've paused our DC interviews. It feels like they're waiting for somebody, whether it's whether it's it feels like Brian Flores. They're waiting on Brian Flores. Now, honestly, I feel like that's a long shot. If I'm being honest here, it feels like he's going to be Pittsburgh's next head coach. If I'm being honest, that just makes more sense.
That too.
Well, I will say this about Flores real quick before you continue.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, Mike McCarthy is slowly emerging as the favorite for the Steelers right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that if Flores doesn't get the Steelers job, I think he's going to work out an extension with the Vikings.
Yeah. I mean, that's possible too.
I can see that too.
I could see him go to the Ravens as well. Yeah.
Their guy yet?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Ravens, he's interviewed with them as a head coach for a candidate as well.
Yeah, but
right?
I don't think they brought him in for a second one.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
I think, he may end up going back to Minnesota or probably a different team, but I really think him and the NFL team years ago really kind of really hit him. But
all right.
I don't know. I haven't seen much with Raheem Morris as well. So
yeah.
We'll see. If not Flores, then Carl Scott is my next guy here. He's building a strong reputation. Now, he goes against the grain in what Dan Quinn said he wanted in terms of having an experienced play caller, but you see what he's done in Seattle. By the way, their cornerback, they got a guy, I think his name is Woolen? He's
Tariq Woolen.
Tariq Woolen, thank you. And he's a free agent.
Talking about him or the other guy?
No, Tariq Woolen. He's a free agent. He's on my list, which I'll get into in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
So if we hire Carl Scott as our DC, we might be able to lure away Woolen as well.
Tariq Woolen.
Yeah, who is one of the reasons why their defense looks so good right now. But
He's staying
we'll
in
see.
Seattle, but I'll let you add that to your tidbit when you do your board.
You need to look at Imawari.
I mean, we'll see. I got a list. Don't worry about it. So, anyway, that being said, besides that, there's really not much news on the DC defensive coordinator front right now. There is some news in the other fronts, though. We fired a quarterbacks coach, journeyman on practice squads. He's never actually even played in an NFL game. His name is Dan Etling. He's going to be the assistant quarterbacks coach now. Etling played professionally from 2018 to 25 on a whole bunch of practice squads, mainly with Green Bay. But we'll see. He spent 1 year at Purdue with Blau as well, should note. That being said, they also made some moves at offensive line. And Darnell Stapleton, you guys might remember that name because he was a former player in the NFL. He went from the assistant offensive line coach, now becoming the offensive line coach. He was also held that position in college, coaching that position in college. Should note that this is actually a big deal in terms of what type of offense David Blau plans on running, because while he was an assistant last year, his primary skill set is teaching zone run versus gap run, which is what Cliff Kingsbury did last year. So, big development. We'll see. Zone protection versus gap protection. We'll see. We also, I believe, promoted Shane Tuba, who was like a quality control coach, into the assistant offensive line coach now. Shane Tube. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So those were the big news in terms of that. That's pretty much all that I have there. I do want to note, though, anybody trying to get Mike McDaniels as their OC, nope, he just signed with the Chargers. So, Just wanted to point that out. So the other thing, besides coaching news, is guys, we got our first rendering of our new stadium, and I gotta say, it is beautiful.
That's right.
It's an homage, this, shaped similarly and designed similar to the old RFK Stadium. However, has nuance to it. It's a dome too. I don't exactly know how the rain's going to fall off that, but that's not my problem. I'm not an architect. But it looks
not there
good.
Got to see it 2030.
Yeah. We got to see a long way. They got to start building it. They haven't done that yet, but it looks good. Okay, guys, I have no complaints. And there is rumors that we'll have a new alternative helmet. So the alternative blacks right now, sounds like they're going to have a new helmet for that. And I've already said this before in the past. It sounds like we are going to be switching from the Super Bowl eras primary alternative uniforms to making those the primary whites, and then bringing in a burgundy version of the uniform as well, which would be awesome. So if that happens next year, awesome. I wasn't
like the one we're wearing now.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, this upcoming season, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, like the jersey. Thank you, Maurice, for this, by the way. I appreciate it. Maurice got us all jerseys for Christmas. I'm going to start calling you Santa Maurice now. Santa Maurice during Christmas time. By the way, Mal, I found out what happened to your letter, your Christmas present for me. You want to know what happened?
What happened?
It got sent back.
There you go. So I never got it.
So you never got it. So we will figure out if I have the wrong address or not, but that's for off the podcast. Nobody needs to know where you live.
Don't come here, people. I won't answer the door. And I have a mean dog.
Yeah. So anyway, any thoughts on any of that news before? Because I don't need to get into that too much right now. Yeah, JT, what's up?
I'm so happy that y'all can go back to DC.
Yeah.
Because when this stadium gets built,
oh yeah, me and you. You already know. We gonna cost us an arm and a leg. We gotta start saving for tickets now for like 5 years.
Yeah, I've already got it written down, man. I already got it ready. I'm moving money to my savings, so.
Oh yeah. Gotta do that.
Well, I'm making Maurice come to the link with me next year. So
there you go.
Well, this year you're pulling up.
Yeah. Pull up.
Actually, my goal is to try to go to each of y'all stadiums.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can meet y'all in person.
That part. Yeah. I want to go to Jerry World too. I don't want to go to your stinky stadium now. I'll wait for 5 years, Lucas.
That's fair. But do you really want to go?
One of the beams is going to fall off and whack me in the head.
I mean, look,
it
kind of happened already.
Pay.
That has happened, right?
Kind of. A sewage pipe did that.
AT&T Stadium, like they were trying to close it, and then one of the roofing things fell to the ground. No one
I'm sorry, I
hurt,
can't.
Yeah.
What?
All right.
Jerry needs to put some curtains up in there too.
Oh goodness.
Yeah,
curtains for sure. All right. Well, I unless anybody else has any other comments on the new possible helmets, any hires or anything, I'm ready to move on.
I did have something for the helmet. What do you think the alternative helmet going to be?
So if they're sticking with the black uniforms, which I don't know if they are, but if they are, hot take, I think it's not going to be a W. I think it's going to be a yellow spear. Not Native American spear, not like the old ones, but like because they're focusing
like
on
spear, almost like
the Greco-Roman stuff. So no, without the feather, because what they're doing. So right now they're changing it from like current military like commanders to like Greco-Roman like gladiator like commanders.
So you think it'll be like a cross?
Not a cross, just a spear, just like the spear like that, but it's more not like Native American style spear, but like a Roman spear. Like that's what I think it. If I had my druthers, that's what I would have it. But that's just me. I think that would look cool. I think that would look black with a spear on it. Come on now, you guys know that would look good. They've been teasing the spear since like the last 2 years. Okay,
I'm low key thinking that
it could be a W in red too. Just saying, but I doubt it.
True. So they're keeping the black helmets, right?
I assume. I cannot confirm nor deny. I do not have the sources on that.
Okay. Hypothetically, if it is the black helmets, you could do it. Even if you don't have the spear, you can still put that feather and just have it.
You're talking about our original 19th. You're talking about the 60s helmet that has that feather on there. Don't try to be slick. I know my helmet history. That looks so bad. That looks so
like close to the field.
No, I look. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It would be nice, but I don't think they're touching that with a 10-foot pole. I just don't think they're going to do it. That's why I said if they're going to do a spear, they're going to do like a Roman spear, not the Native American spear. Would I be happy to see a Native American spear? Sure, but they're not going to do it because they don't, PC, all that stuff, right? So, and that's fine.
100%.
I'm not judging them for that. To be clear, that being said, well, that's pretty much all that I got, folks.
That's all.
Maurice, it is your turn. Is there any good news on your OC front? I know that you hired you interviewed a former head coach of the NFC East.
Yes, Brian Dable. Now,
What?
last
would be interesting.
Last week, I was kind of bullish on Brian Dable. I said as one of the people I didn't want to see as offensive coordinator. I've kind of backed off on that a little bit. I think Dable can work here. Now, my number one choice was Mike McDaniel, and reportedly he has either going to the Chargers as offensive coordinator or he's still looking at a head coaching position. But more than likely, if Schefter reported it, he's going to be hired as offensive coordinator for the Chargers. So basically, he wanted to
Cliff Kingsbury.
No,
I've already told him that's a bad idea. I don't even know if Dable's a good idea for you guys because, here's why: he benched him in the championship game.
I do. I know that, but from just not even take away the head coaching, just look at him as a play caller. I think he's one of the best available. You said what?
Only 3 good seasons as an OC. The rest of his seasons as an OC has been terrible.
Well, the 3 good seasons was with Josh Allen.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts is not Josh Allen.
That's true.
Who is this Jim Bob Cooter that you interviewed?
Excuse me? What's his name?
Jim Bob Cooter?
No.
I think that's his name.
You're messing with me.
No, I'm not.
Come on, guys. We can be mature here. Come on.
No,
I am. I'm trying to.
That is his name. He is the current offensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts, Jim Bob Cooter.
Yes.
Jim Bob Cooter.
My name is Jim Bob Cooter. How are you doing today? I'm here to sell you some cars here from my used car dealership. I'm sorry. That's what I think of there.
Let him cook.
Yeah.
Let him cook.
I broke JT. I feel good though. I feel
the 5% chance that he becomes the Commanders OC, not the Commanders, the Eagles OC.
I was gonna say we got our OC. We're good. We don't need Jim Bob Cooter. That's for sure.
I think it's actually more than 5% chance he could be, because he has a relationship with Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni knows him from his time with the Colts. He's worked with Shane Steichen. There's actually a good chance he could be the offensive coordinator. Either him, I still think Dable's is a possibility. Now, that chance could be a little lower now because the Buffalo Bills fired their head coach, Sean McDermott.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, the Commanders are not in the mix for that. We do not have the personnel to attract him over to us, to be clear.
No. But Brian Dable as the head coach of the Bills, I could see that happening.
I could see it happening. I don't think that's the right call, but I could see it happening.
Yeah,
honestly, they should hire their current OC as their head coach.
Joe Brady is still a possibility for the Eagles. There's a couple guys out there, but right now it could be Jim Bob Cooter or it could be Brian Dable. We'll see. But I do find it interesting that the Eagles didn't even actually get an interview with Mike McDaniel. That's disappointing. I think he would have been the best overall pick for offensive coordinator for the Eagles. But, we'll see where the chips fall because, it's not always about the name. It's about what they're going to do when they get here and what type of scheme they bring that helps the talent around them succeed. So,
how pissed would you be if they hired somebody from within after all this time?
The only person they have within is Scott Leffler, the quarterback coach. I don't see that happening.
Okay.
Not
I mean, we hired our quarterbacks coach, just saying, so it's not impossible.
He's a younger guy. Scott Leffler is a younger
guy. I'm just saying, it's possible.
Our quarterback coach is a little older.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, and by the way, I don't know if that was the best choice. It kind of was quick.
I think the fact that they're hiring within on the staff and they already knew who the assistant QB coach was going to be, I think that kind of tells me that that he was the choice all along.
Mm-hmm. So do you think they did their due diligence in actually interviewing guys outside?
That's a fair question because I honestly thought after the Madrid game
What's
that
everybody shaking
Mike
their heads?
McDaniel, huh?
Both Mal and JT were shaking their heads like,
Well, I'm just saying.
They wanted to.
Oh, they would have. They would have. Yeah, they would have. But maybe it just wasn't the right time. I don't know. But like I said, it sounded like they had David Blau on their mind pretty early on in the process. It seems like Cliff and the offensive line coach. Who was that? Not Brian Johnson. No, wait a second. Was it Brian?
Bobby Johnson. He's a
Bobby
bum.
Johnson. Yeah. Those were the only two that we left.
That was mean. That was really mean.
No. I mean, look, I mean, he did well for us. I have no complaints. But the reason why I think they got rid of Bobby Johnson, there would be no reason. He actually did a good job with the offensive line, except if they were going to change the scheme from a gap scheme to the zone scheme that I talked about earlier. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to take over your section, dude.
No,
You asked me. I'm just, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much good on my segment.
All right.
More to come with the offensive coordinator. It actually is a big decision, so at least they're not doing it real fast. They're actually taking their time with this because it's actually a really big deal. You could easily say the Philadelphia Eagles could still be playing if they had the right play caller. So
That's fair.
So
say that about defensive coordinator. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
I could have said that about my head coach, but here we are.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. All right, so it's time for around the NFL. It was a divisional weekend of the NFL playoffs. Some really good games. But before we do that, we mentioned it earlier. Bills fired their coach, Sean McDermott, after a loss to the Denver Broncos. Where did I go there?
I don't think it was his fault. I think it's the player. I think, honestly, the GM should have lost
it was Allen's fault.
Josh Allen had 4 turnovers.
agree.
They had the nerve to ride the podium and stuff and this and that. No. You the one out there put the cape on. You the one that was out there trying to be Superman and fly.
And here's the other thing. The supporting cast on that roster is not, anything to write home about. There are a lot better supporting,
Speaking of that, though, Lucas,
that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did they fire McDermott and retain the GM, they promoted the GM.
I would have gotten rid of the GM. I would have kept McDermott. I don't think he did anything wrong.
Which is so crazy to me because, Shane is a Bean disciple. He is a mini Bean, and they're both in the situation where, I know that sounds so weird, but he's a mini Brandon Bean, and they make these decisions with these rosters, and I'm like, dog, how do y'all still have jobs?
Well,
how do they still have jobs?
In the NFL, it's not necessarily what you know, it's who you know sometimes.
Well, I'm going to say this. I tweeted about it. A lot of narratives are drawn based off of who the football media likes and don't like. All I'm going to say is Josh Allen, great quarterback, didn't have Mahomes, didn't have Burrow, didn't have Lamar Jackson in the playoffs to go against. He had the number one rushing offense, James Cook. He had a great offensive line. He didn't win. Another player last year had the same thing, and he won a Super Bowl. That's all I'm going to say. You can move on.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I mean, look at the wide receivers that player had versus what Allen had.
You could say won the Super Bowl, but the defense.
Yeah, the defense won you all that Super Bowl.
The defense,
the defense was healthier than Buffalo.
Yes.
Come on,
listen though.
Our defense this year was better than last year. We just had a great performance in the Super Bowl. That's all.
I'm gagging about to say this. Just want to throw that out there. The Eagles were a complete team that remained healthy throughout the entire season for the most part, barring a few injuries. But Saquon remained completely healthy and had a career year. Jalen Hurts remained healthy. The offensive line was pretty good. The defense was solid. It was a complete team. That's what you need to win a Super Bowl.
And Mal, and the crazy thing was, it really didn't feel like an NFL team.
No.
It was built like a college team. It was pretty much Indiana.
Shout out Indiana, by the way.
Bills?
No, the
No, your
Eagles.
team.
Yeah, your team.
Your team.
I think that Indiana Hoosiers. I don't know about that.
Shout
I don't know
out
about
to
that
Indiana,
one.
by the way. I had them winning.
Shout out Indiana.
JG and Maurice
Weren't
had
they
Miami
first?
winning, though. That's fine, though.
Well, I
So
mean,
you just gonna put,
no.
It was a good game.
out there?
No, I
You
said
You said Miami. You
no,
said Miami.
No, me and Earl both said that we're rooting for Miami, but we think Indiana's going to win.
Indiana was gonna win.
Yeah, you both said that.
See, I'm not. Nah, I was just staying true.
See, you lucky we on different screens. If I was next to you, I'm pushing a headlock, give you a noogie, knock that logo off.
Shout out
Also,
Indiana though.
This week,
by the way, his little
Caleb
brother
Williams went
transferred
from
to
Bono
Georgia.
to Bozo within like 10 minutes. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
That was one of the craziest plays I've ever seen.
Hmm.
shout out to, but just the amount of turnovers that quarterbacks had in these
In the postseason, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Drake
Like-
May, fumbleitis.
CJ Stroud looking
CJ Stroud.
looking like Brady Quinn.
Josh
like,
Allen's failed Superman attempt.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Still, the lights were a little too bright for CJ Stroud, at least this season, this playoff run.
I just
I don't
I
want to hear anything.
That was a
about Stroud.
turnover fest.
see the thing is like his college year and his rookie year. Me and Earl were like, yeah, this is a guy. But it feels like either he's chasing or like he's got some bad coaching or somebody messed with his confidence. Honestly, that's what it
I
feels like.
think after last season, something broke his courage. But even at that point, he's got receivers. He's got
Yeah.
a run game. It's
I mean,
just-
during the playoffs,
just
he didn't
didn't-
have Tank or Nico in this game, so like I get like that. I mean, not to give him
still,
excuses,
you gotta-
but like
you still got to go out there and
I don't
play.
know. Well,
Yeah.
I got to see him next year. Next year is a make or break year for CJ Stroud. I
I
will
just
say
think
that.
that defense for Houston was on demon time
Mm-hmm.
because what they could do, it was just they
Yeah.
couldn't overcome what New England was doing.
4
because the offense was
turnovers.
failing.
Yeah, 4 turnovers.
So,
So anyway,
it really sucks that Bo Nix played that game, then he got hurt at the very end. So now they got a backup quarterback, Stidham, coming in to play against in the
That's
championship
crazy.
game against the Drake May and the Patriots. So are we all picking the Patriots?
I hate to say
Nope.
it, but
I ain't
yes.
saying nothing. But I can tell you, Seahawks running back Zach May tore his ACL. He's out for the season, so
It's just Kenneth Walker now.
take over Kenneth Walker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I did have a
We
question for y'all. With get it through. Can y'all, with the 4 teams that's in there now, can y'all see something that y'all seen before?
Yeah.
What is Mal?
Like the
Seahawks
general.
Seahawks versus Patriots Super Bowl. I don't want that.
Seahawks or the Broncos? Then you
I'm here
have
for the Seahawks and the Broncos. Keep that New
Patriots
England
against
team
the
out of there.
Broncos in the championship game.
Yeah,
Rams against the Patriots.
I
gotta
want
see-
Rams versus the Patriots, and I want the Rams to crush them.
The Seahawks?
No, I want the Rams to
Rams.
crush the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
They got to beat Seattle.
I think they
I
can.
got Seattle winning. I got Seattle and the Patriots
I got
winning.
Seattle winning too.
Yeah, I got Seattle as well. I think the toss-up might be New England because Bo got hurt. So, I don't know. They could surprise.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want the Broncos to win. I just don't want to see the Patriots back in the Super Bowl. It's
Yeah.
only been what
I'm
7
over
years.
them.
But do
Yeah.
we really want to see Jared Stidham in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
I do.
Yes. The new Nick
Absolutely.
Foles.
Nick Foles.
Yeah.
It'd be more improbable than Nick
You
Foles.
root for the underdog.
Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway,
You like rooting
on
for the
that-
underdog?
I am.
not the Broncos. Not the
And
Broncos.
also, we could at least say the Patriots felt like they had an easy path
That's fair.
to get there.
Well,
They
okay,
low-key
guys,
did.
let's go ahead and wrap things up. And who's
All right.
up this
Who's
I
time?
on?
think that's me, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we want to thank everybody for listening to our podcast. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, 14 Rings and NFC East Podcast. That's where we're going to have all of our individual episodes where you guys can kind of dive a little more in depth with us. Make sure you follow us on all of our socials, which would be Facebook, X, Threads, TikTok, Instagram. And make sure that you subscribe to us on our other platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, iHeartRadio. And we will see you guys next time. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.
Deuces, raise hell.
Yes, go Birds.
Blessings. DC for life.